Senior year, I finally worked up the courage to ask my crush Ebony to prom. She said yes, and I was convinced this would be the perfect night to tell her how I felt about her. I spent weeks planning everything. Rented a tux, bought a corsage, even practiced my "I've liked you since freshman year" speech in the mirror. The one thing I insisted on was driving. My friends all wanted to split an Uber, but I had this romantic vision of picking Ebony up in my car, just the two of us, having deep conversations on the way there. What I didn't mention was that my car was a 2003 Toyota Camry with a dent in the side and a muffler that sounded like a dying whale. Ebony looked absolutely stunning when I picked her up. She was wearing this gorgeous blue dress, and I was so nervous I could barely speak. The drive to prom was going perfectly. We were talking, laughing, and I was building up the courage to tell her how I felt. At prom, everything was magical. We danced, took pictures, and I was planning to confess my feelings during the slow songs. But then my friends Jake and Marcus found me around 10 p.m., completely wasted from pre-gaming in the parking lot. "Dude!" Jake slurred, hanging all over me. "We need a ride home right now!" Marcus threw up on his date's shoes, and we got kicked out of the after party. I tried to explain that I was having a moment with Ebony, but Marcus was turning green and mumbling about needing to get home before his parents found out he was drunk. Ebony, being the sweet person she is, said, "It's okay, we should help them. We can talk later." So there I was, loading two drunk idiots into my Toyota while wearing a $200 tuxedo. Jake immediately claimed shotgun and started messing with my radio, while Marcus sprawled across the back seat, groaning about his stomach. "This car smells weird," Jake announced loudly, "like old French fries and sadness." Ebony squeezed into the back seat next to Marcus, who kept apologizing for ruining prom night while simultaneously asking if we had any snacks. I was driving extra carefully because I had precious cargo, but Jake kept grabbing the steering wheel saying, "Dude, you're driving like my grandma. Speed up." Then Marcus suddenly sat up and yelled, "Pull over, I'm gonna be sick." I swerved to the side of the road so fast that my muffler backfired like a gunshot. Marcus jumped out and started throwing up in someone's front yard while Jake cheered him on like it was a sporting event. That's when the police car pulled up behind us with its lights flashing. Officer Johnson got out, and of course it was the same cop who'd given me a speeding ticket last month. He took one look at me in my tuxedo, my Toyota with the hood smoking slightly, and two drunk teenagers in formal wear, and just shook his head. Well, what do we have here? I tried to explain that I was the designated driver, completely sober, just helping my friends, but Jake chose that moment to stumble over and loudly declare, "Officer, this guy is a hero. He's saving us from certain death." Marcus was still throwing up, now with Ebony holding his hair back because she's literally an angel. Officer Johnson made me do a sobriety test right there on the side of the road in my tuxedo. I had to walk a straight line, touch my nose, and recite the alphabet while Jake provided commentary like, "He's nailing it, that's my boy." After confirming I was sober, the officer helped me get everyone back in the car, but as we were leaving, my Toyota made this horrible grinding noise and started smoking from the engine. "Son," Officer Johnson said, "I don't think your car is going to make it much further." He was right. We made it exactly 3 more blocks before my Toyota died completely in the middle of an intersection, steam pouring from under the hood. Ebony called her dad to pick us all up while I stood there in my tuxedo next to my dead car, watching my perfect prom night turn into a complete disaster. The tow truck driver who showed up took one look at my Toyota and said, "Yeah, this one's done for. Want me to just take it straight to the junkyard?" Ebony squeezed my hand and said, "Hey, at least it's a story we'll never forget." She was right, but I never did get to tell her how I felt. Hard to be romantic when your friends are drunk, your car is dead, and you've been field sobriety tested in formal wear. If you're thinking, it was indeed a beat-up to Han Toyota.